This morning I was talking to a buddy of mine on the way to work, and he was sharing with me that, he said, Jerry, you speak with so matter-of-factly and with such conviction, but you realize that, as a Christian, which I am, it's like you actually don't have much control over anything. And as he was saying this, I was watching the sun come up, and I was thinking, well, that's so true. I don't have control. A lot of times leaders like me, I will speak with conviction. I was talking to my staff about this morning for a couple minutes. I said, do you know why I speak with conviction? Like when I light myself on fire in front of you guys and say, here's where we're going and here's what we're going to do. Or if I'm challenging you personally, why I speak with such conviction. Like I believe, when I'm talking to high school students or my staff, you might not believe what I believe, but I believe it, right? So why do I speak with such conviction when I don't have control over anything, right? The sun comes up, I'm like, thank you, Lord, for having the sun. I don't have control over it. You would argue even in darkness, I can turn the lights on, but I don't have control over that because I don't know how the electric works and I can't build that either. So for the sake of context, I have no control over anything, but yet I speak as if I have control over everything. Why do I do that? And it really prompted me to think, like, one of the reasons that I speak when I'm like absolutely like this is where we're going, or this is what I see in your finances, which I was talking to a couple guys about their finances, which is messy. It's hard to talk about guys' finances, and they're like, well, I'm not, compared to, it's like, well, who are you comparing yourself to? The people that you're comparing yourself to, are they out of debt and are they building assets that they can retire from? Why are you listening to them? And so, again, speaking with conviction, I think what I've learned about myself is if you give somebody, for context, somebody in my charge, if I give them 0.1%, right, of full responsibility, if I give them any like escape hatch, they take it, right? And so what I'm trying to do is completely suffocate. If there's any bullshit at all, I'm just trying to wring out. And if I speak with conviction, then what I'm trying to do is suffocate your bullshit, right? So you just like, no, that's not true. You're comparing yourself to the wrong people, right? So it's a both and, right? So in the grand scheme of things, spiritually, I have control over nothing, right? God has control over everything he does. However that works, I have no control. And yet, as a leader, I speak as if I have complete control, right? Which is a paradox, right? It's a contradiction. I actually do believe it. On one hand, I believe that, right, 100%, and then I also realize that I don't have control of anything. That's the paradox of all this. But for context today, as a leader, I have to speak with conviction, and when I'm speaking, I actually believe it. Some guys are like, you're full of shit. It's like, but I believe my bullshit. Like, I actually believe it. Like, to my core, if you cut me, the DNA, like, part of me actually believes that. And yet, at the same time, I realize I don't have control over much of anything, actually. So, tough conversation, like, to try to land that. It's like, well, what do you actually believe? Well, when I'm leading a human, I'm speaking to them, with 100% conviction. But then, as a human, I also recognize the God of the universe is like bigger, more powerful. Like, I don't have control at all compared to that. It just gets super heady, and I don't enjoy staying in that space.